Now, if you want to see me get behind a Felix Calgrave animation, well, here's Double King. An animation that is, compared to its younger brother, definitely more favored by me. Let me just say, having a planned story kinda, sorta, maybe puts things up more comparatively to things without it, if you know what I mean. Basically, it's very interesting because it has one. Turns out it's actually an interesting plot and story as well. The little thing, I like to call the Double King, is surprisingly far-reaching for its goal, and goes on an adventure that is both engrossing and unworldly. There are many different places showcased in such little time, while also feeling like we got sampled just enough of each place. This such little time probably has to do with there being no dialogue whatsoever, and it works with that. Despite no one saying a word, the communication was well executed and many of the jokes land with grace, mostly because most of it is kinda morbid visual humor. It has a sense of lightheartedness with even its violence, that it executes by not drawing out executions, but rather making them fast and quick. It does, however, draw out some details that make it feel uncomfortable on purpose to evoke that feeling of unease. That, I feel, is really just Calgrave's style, I guess. There's also a level of detail that is not only very Calgrave as well, based on the two videos of his, but consistent through the animation. Nothing feels like it loses detail or anything like that. Everything feels like the right amount of detail at the right time. Things can lose detail, it just has to be placed right, and man, is the detail placed right. While the world can feel a little small in some places, the animation makes it feel like it's just a matter of perspective rather than a sense of limit. Besides, it's a morbid comedy animation, so emphasizing the comedy part of animation, it does the whole drop distance thing for the funny. And it does add some funny to the already funny. One of my favorite things about this animation, however, is the characterization. The Double King, a childlike being with the determination of a bull and the skill of an assassin. Holy crap, do I not want this thing in my world. The Double King has clear weaknesses that give the character a sort of likability to him. Like, we know he's psycho. we know he's psycho, but just because Joker is a crazy murderer doesn't mean he ain't fun. No, really, these quick and easy kills in power give such a satisfying edge, despite being Mortal Kombat level gross. But again, quick executions give the animation charm rather than grossness. But he can also be an idiot with his level of greed blinding him. He may be a force to be reckoned with, but he can sure get blindsided. Hashtag relatable. I also love the other kings and how weirdly grounded they are. Then there's this almighty king of death, or whatever, that is soups cool with his powers and all that, but is also shown to be sort of grounded and even a bit mortal, which is what makes him soups cool as well. Oh yeah, and the sound design is soups cool. Okay, I'll stop. Sound design is just as good as Dry Run. It gives a comedic air to the situations while also tensing things up, making them uncomfortable and uneasy. But the more I think about it, it does kind of surpass Dry Run. What it has to Dry Run is highly comedic value, making things hit harder with a funny as frick delivery. It also knows what sound should be used for what to make things feel uneasy to an even higher extent. Like, tell me you didn't have your skin crawl when you heard the terrible whining of the Double King. It really does work well with its weirdness, funniness, and unease. Good job, Mr. Felix Calgrave.